But, you know, I understand people love their families. They want to fucking do their best. I'm actually, I'm going to say something now that's going to make some people upset. It's weird that I say it. I'm a single dad now. I've been a single dad for over a year. And when people hear it, they get all, oh, it's a shame. Not a shame. Me and my ex weren't getting along. We're still good friends now. I'll tell you how we broke up. This is literally how me and my ex broke up. I bought a house 5 doors down from my house. And she goes, what did you get that for? And I went, for you to live in. And she high-fived me and skipped down there. She was happy to go as well. So now I'm a single dad. And the weird thing is about being a single dad is before that I used to go on and on and on about what a great parent I was. But I wasn't a great parent. I wasn't. I was just a guy who lived with a 4-year-old. This is how I used to parent. I used to walk around the house. If I saw my son playing with a toy, I'd be like, what are you playing with there? Lego. Sounds fun. All right. And then his mum would take him to bed and I'd go, good night, sweet dreams, my prince. But I was a shit parent. Well, now it's just me and him. And so I have this 4-year-old that comes over, fucking every second week I get my kid, and he comes over and I try to make it as normal a family life as we can. But the little cunt only eats like 4 different foods. He eats like macaroni and cheese, chicken, and fucking pizza and apples. I try to make him eat other things, but his mother doesn't, and there's a big argument. That's why she lives in another fucking house. Anyway. But he comes over, and I try to have family meals with him, right? So it's just me and him. So I make him chicken, I have to bread it, I have to do things, I have to make it a certain level, and then I cut up some apples, and then I sit there, and then he comes and eats dinner with me, and I'm not gonna make 2 fucking meals, so I'm eating fucking chicken and apples as well. So we're sitting there eating a meal, and I don't let him watch TV while we're eating. That's family time, so it's me and him. But I gotta be honest, I wanna watch the TV. The conversation runs out pretty fucking quick. He hasn't got a lot going on. I go to him, I go, how was your day? And he goes, oh, I don't know. And I go, what did you do at school? He goes, drew a picture. And I'm like, fuck, this is a long meal. Anyway, so I make him the chicken, I make him the apples, and then I take him upstairs for bedtime at 8:30, and he has a bath, and I wash his hair, and I put him in some pajamas, and he's all fresh and clean, and I put him in the bed, and I sing him the same song every day, and then I read him a story, and then I wait till he falls asleep, and then I go downstairs and watch TV. And then about 2 hours later, about 10:30, I just hear screaming, just, and I run up the fucking stairs. I get up there, he's covered in vomit. He's vomited all over, he's got vomit through his fucking hand. I pick him up, he's shitting, right? He's shitting and vomiting onto me. So he's vomiting onto me, but he's shitting in front of where I'm walking. So I'm walking through shit as vomit's coming onto me. I put him on the toilet, I get him a bucket. He is now shitting and vomiting simultaneously. Now, maybe I didn't cook that chicken long enough. Anyway, so he's just sitting there. He's never had food poisoning before. I ate the same meal. The little cunt's just got a weak constitution. Anyway, so he's sitting there, shitting and vomiting at the same time, and the poor little fella, because he's 4, his brain doesn't compute that this won't go on forever. He actually looked at me shitting and vomiting, and he looks at me and he goes, I guess this is me now. And I'm just laughing like, you'll be all right, fella, you'll be all right. Anyway, this goes on for a couple of hours where it's about midnight now. He's empty. Everything's out of his body. I give him another bath and I wash him off and I wash all the vomit out of his hair and I put him in some new pajamas and I say, come and sleep in my bed, mate. Everything's gonna be all right. And he sleeps in my bed and I pat his back until he goes to sleep. And then I go to sleep. And then 2 hours later, I shit the bed. Now, this wasn't like I woke up with cramps and went, oh, and then I shit the bed. No, the shit and the waking up was a simultaneous thing. I just lay in there, I just went, oh, oh, oh. He's fast asleep. Now, I've just shit the bed next to a 4-year-old, which I assume is a crime. And I've never felt so sick, and I get out, and I'm in my underwear, and there's just shit pouring down my thighs. And I'm like, ah! And I vomit on the floor, and I'm walking through my own vomit, and I'm shitting onto the vomit, and I make it all the way to my toilet. And I sit there, and I'm shitting. I didn't have a bucket, and so I'm just vomiting into the fucking bathtub and shitting. And I actually said out loud, I guess this is me now. Now, I'm there for a couple of hours. I'm taking all my clothes off, and so now it's like 5 in the morning, and I'm fucking naked and just still shitting and vomiting. And my son wakes up. He's feeling fresh as a daisy. He comes in, his pajamas all clean, his hair's all fluffy. He walks in, holding his teddy, he walks around the pile of shit and vomit. He walks in to see his father shitting and vomiting on the toilet, and he looks at me, he goes, we had a tough night, didn't we, Dad? Now, before we go, on all my specials, I do this a little bit at the end. I mentioned depression. Depression has been something that has been a major part of my life, not just my life, but my father's life, and it has sort of controlled everything for me. Now, if you're suffering from depression, as I hit 40, it's gotten a bit better. And it's gotten a bit better because I was speaking to my dad, who's 76, and I said, Dad, why aren't you depressed? And he said, what are you gonna do? Now, that actually said something to me. It said something big in my brain that actually flicked a switch, right? Because I wasted my 20s being depressed. The prime years of my life, I wasted most of my 30s being depressed. And a lot of you may have done that as well, right? But this is the thing, right? The only reason we're depressed in our 20s and our 30s and our 40s, the prime of our life, is because of hope. Because we think that something better is fucking coming, right? You think you're gonna make it. You think you're gonna be something. What if I don't meet the woman of my dreams? What if I don't get the career that I want? And then when you're old, you go, huh. I guess none of that happened. But then you're happy to be alive. See, I spent weeks in my 20s in my fucking bed going, I don't want to live. I can't get out of my fucking bed. Do you know who doesn't do that? People in their 90s. You don't meet depressed people in their 90s. I used to be like, I can't get up. People in their 90s are like, I'm up! Did it again! Boom! So all you have to do is outlive your depression. I'm 40, I'm about to turn 41 in a few weeks. And I'll tell you a weird thing about me. I have a passion. My passion is this. I like little things that look like they should be big things. I act like they're full size, but that I'm a giant. I'll give you an example. You know when you're in a shitty hotel and they give you that little box of breakfast cereal? I act like that's a full-size box of breakfast cereal. And then I walk up to people and go, this is a full-size box of breakfast cereal. But I'm a giant. Like my ex, Kate, she had to stop buying cherry tomatoes and baby carrots because whenever we had them in the house, I was a pain in the ass. I was always like, Kate! It's a regular sized tomato. Well, I'm gonna eat it in one bite. Because I'm a giant, Kate! Every time we went to a restaurant and ordered sliders, she was like, fuck, here we go. You don't want to be sitting next to me on a plane when they give you that little bowl of vodka. I'm a fucking nightmare. I'm like, everyone, I should be drunk. I just drank a whole bowl of vodka. But I'm not, because I'm a giant. Now, this all came to a head when my son was 2. We were trying to put him in preschool, and we were going around to the different schools, and we were taking the tours, and we were on this one tour at the school he actually ended up at, and they were showing us the play equipment in the classrooms, and then we walked into the toilets. And they had these toilets for 2-year-olds, which are little tiny bowls, with a little tiny seat, with a little tiny water tank, a little tiny flusher, and as soon as I saw them, I was in heaven. And the rest of the group kept walking, and I acted like I was walking, but I wasn't, because I had to stick around, because I had to do a shit on a little toilet. I didn't even need to do a shit. This was an extra unnecessary shit. I'd done a shit 2 hours earlier. So I pull down my pants, and I get on the little toilet. Now, maybe the happiest I've ever been. So I'm doing this shit, and the hole's so small it only covers my arsehole, so my cock and balls are sitting up on the lip of the seat. And I'm just beaming, but then I reach a dilemma. Often when you shit, you also need to wee. And my dick wanted to wee, but I was just shitting, so my dick was confused. My dick was like, name me a scenario where shit is welcome and wee isn't. And I'm like, we're just shitting right now. And it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna wee. And I'm like, please don't wee. Because if you wee, I'll become a sex offender and Hank won't get into the school. And Kate won't get happy. Now, at this stage, Kate realizes I've left the group. And she walks back in to see the father of her child doing a shit on a little toilet with his cock and balls sitting up on the lip. And the look of disappointment that just flooded her face. And I just looked at her like this. I'm a giant, Kate! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.